Hey everybody, welcome back. So as we've been talking about this month, we're taking a deep dive into standard operating procedures or SOPs as it relates to personnel management. Last week we talked about onboarding a new team member. This week we're going to talk about what it takes to set clear expectations and the roles and responsibilities for a new team member. So that's really critical because often an employee or a team member gets added, and because they have very unclear expectations of what it is that they're responsible for, they're unhappy. Their work quality maybe is lacking. They're delayed on things because they don't fully understand. So it's really, really important to create a standard operating system or a workflow in a very organized way so that your team member knows exactly what they're responsible for, when things are required to be done, how often they need to be done, who do they need to collaborate with. And by putting this in an organized format so that everyone on the team knows who is responsible for what, there also takes into account when a team member is out for whatever reason. People are on vacation, people get sick, people have things that cause them to not be able to participate on any given time. But if everyone on the team knows exactly who is responsible for what, that also creates a backup system so that everyone can have a secondary role and responsibility, so that if someone is going to be scheduled out of work for whatever reason, there's a plan in place to ensure that the work still gets done. So really it starts with setting those clear roles and responsibilities and then following it up with the expectations.
The vast majority of problems in business environments usually come from lack of clear communication. That includes problems created by somebody not having whatever turn out the way that they wanted it to or they expected it to. So, unmet expectations. When you clearly lay out stuff ahead of time, like how much you're getting paid, when you're getting paid, how you get paid, what kind of bonuses you get, then it's very clear what you're going to be expecting from your employer or your contractor. When you're clear about what this person's job is, what they're supposed to be doing every day, and their tasks they're supposed to be doing, then there's less chance for somebody to get upset on one side or the other because you know clearly what you're supposed to be doing every day and for whom and who you're supposed to report to. Also, like, what kind of work do you expect? Do you expect work to be done the right way, the correct way every time? Or are you tolerant of people making mistakes? Randy and I like to say go slow to go fast. So in our world, we would rather you do it slow and do it the right way than come back 10 times with it half done. Other things you have to worry about is like when you expect the project to be done. Another pet peeve of Randy and I is people who don't do things on time or when they say they're going to do them. So making sure that whoever is working for you or under you understands exactly when you want this to be done and understands if they're not going to get it done by then, how to communicate that there's a problem and that they can't do it in the time frame that you have set for them. So the point is, when you clearly define what you want, when you expect it, how you expect it, and who's going to do it, you have less problems of worrying about people who are upset because the world didn't end up the way they thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and another great thing that you can do in relationship to expectations is improving or building a culture where you basically expect a team member to ask for clarification if they don't know something. So for example, you've asked them to get a project done, you're conditioning them to ask questions like, great, I'm on it. Exactly when do we need to have this done? When do you want to have this part done? When's my deadline? That sort of thing, so that they start to create that ownership as well. And so by telling your company story and developing a culture around that culture of expectations are clearly laid out and understood, the roles and responsibilities are understood, it begins to permeate throughout your entire organization. And that way, when somebody comes into the fold, they automatically have a support system and a team in place that will hold them accountable, that will encourage them, that will provide the teaching, the coaching, the training necessary for them to move forward. And quite honestly, it'll eliminate or reduce the chance of failure because the culture has been in place in such a manner that, gosh, there's just almost a fail-proof system where they can't fail as long as they know exactly what's expected of them. So if you need help with any of that, developing team roles and responsibilities, any other guidance in relationship to managing personnel, please reach out to us. Our website is thetruenorthconsulting.com. You can reach out there. And by the way, on the website, a new blog got released yesterday, which talks a little bit more about what we're talking about here today. So jump in there and take a look. And also below, there's a really cool attachment. You can get some various supporting tools that we have available for you to help you create and build various SOPs. There's also a link to a team management Trello board that's available to buy. It's a preset system that you can create that team organization, that team workflow, so that there's complete transparency and complete accountability among everyone, so that everyone is working kind of on the same page. So feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to help.
Otherwise, have a great day.